Okay, well, this should be a pretty easy start to our episode today. We're just going to work on this Dueling Justice quest, which is kind of where we left off last time. Let's grab this Grim Totem Raider over here if we can. Let's see if we're in line of sight. Okay, no, I didn't think so. I'm trying to get in a position where we can grab these guys, but not aggro a bunch of other stuff along the way. Here we go. This is better. I'm really glad that in shadow form we can still shield up. I'm really thankful for that. You know, the weirdest thing, and I never figured this out, is like for some reason on my speakers, for my computer, I can actually, I have like a volume controlled software enabled, like on my keyboard, just like the Windows volume control. And then, hold on a sec, which attunement? Someone's talking about attunement down here in guild chat. Whoops, entering combat. Okay, let's back up. Uh-oh, we got a few of them here. Let's fear these away. And we're just going to focus down the shaman if we can. Hopefully kill that very quickly before they both break fear and kill us, but they're both out of fear now, but I think we'll be okay anyway. Thankfully that shaman didn't have a lot of health, and we do a lot of damage in shadow form. We really do quite a lot. So, what I was saying was that, no thanks. It's, they're talking about Molten Core attunement down there. We don't really need that. We were looking for a Nixia attunement on my warrior. I've got most of the quest line done, but I need to run Upper Blackrock Spire one more time to totally finish that up. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying is on my computer, you can do Windows 10 volume control. It's actually Windows 8.1, which is like software-based volume control. But then my speakers themselves, they're Swan brand, like M10 is the model number. What's strange about them is that you can control, not strange, but you can control the volume with a knob on the subwoofer. What's weird about it is that even if that's turned all the way down, if my software volume control is turned all the way up, I can still hear things out of my speakers a little bit. It's just strange to me. I usually will play with my sound turned pretty much all the way down. I don't use headphones, I'll just put my speakers and turn my sound all the way down. And that way, my hardware-based sound, so the dial on my sub will be turned down, but my speakers are turned up. The software is turned up so that the game will actually record that audio still. Because obviously I still want audio for the game itself for the recording, I just don't want audio to be playing through the speakers and looping back through, causing some sort of weird feedback type of thing. This guy's going to run away and aggro the other shaman over there. That's our first naturalist kill, by the way. It seems like there's not a lot of naturalists, so I have a feeling, since we have to kill 12 of them, I have a feeling we're going to be hunting for those at the end of this quest. By the way, this quest, Dueling Justice, all we have to do is kill 12 Grim Totem Naturalists, 10 Grim Totem Raiders, and 6 Grim Totem Shamans, so it's a fairly simple quest. And what's nice is that the quest giver gives it to us. Oops, I wanted to silence that guy, I didn't get it off in time, but strangely, if you just take them down at 15% health, they'll flee and interrupt their own spell casting, so that's kind of funny. Makes it a lot easier for us. Anyway, so what I was saying is it's kind of a nice quest, because the quest giver is right next to where the quest itself is at, or the mobs of the kill are at, so it makes it pretty easy actually. Let's see, the naturalist did cast, looked like rejuvenation on itself, so it's going to regenerate a little bit of health. There's really no way to interrupt that, but we could have, I guess you could probably dispel magic onto him, but not too worried about that. These things die, all these things are dying so easy, it's just not really worth the extra effort, I would say. Anyway, so we're just going to start off today's episode by, we got this guy on us. Let's go ahead and fear both these things. Okay. We're going to start this episode off by just clearing up this quest. Pretty easy quest. Should go really smoothly for us, even though it's actually a red quest, a level 47 quest, but it feels like it's much easier than that. I mean, we're like smoking these guys right now. So I'm really not, for level 47 quests, is fairly easy. I assume part of the reason it's level 47 is because it's kind of densely packed. Like there's really quite a few mobs in this area together, and if you happen to aggro them, and because they have nets, so these raiders, as you can just see, just netted me, If you're not ready for that, or if you get netted in a bad spot, you're pretty dead. But it's not, I mean, we're just going to play it safe and stay back a little bit. Shield up, let Shadow Word Pain take care of that one over there. We get a Spirit Tap proc from that, which is super handy, and we'll focus on this guy. The unfortunate thing about Shadow Form, as you've noticed, or as I mentioned last time at least, is that you cannot cast heal spells in this form, but what you can do is you can still do Powered Shield, which is a big help, of course. If you can do Powered Shield, it'd be quite a bit worse, I would say, for soloing. So actually we're going to pop out of Shadow Form real fast, and we're going to cast a heal on ourselves, and then we're going to go ahead and drink, I guess. Let's get rid of some of this enchanted water. And we also need to pull out our pet, I just realized again. Where is it? Rabbit Crate Snowshoe. So we've killed about, let's see, 10 of the 28 mobs we need, so we're almost halfway there. I guess we need a new inner fire to pop up on ourselves after this, once we get up. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't think there's a lot of naturalists, so I have a feeling we're going to finish all these raiders up real quick, and then really have a lot left to finish. Let's get our rabbit out. Okay. Yeah, but this is a nice quest. I actually like this quest. It's fairly easy, pretty straightforward. It's a good quest to kind of wrap up this little area. And then, you know, Feralas is a nice spot to do a lot of leveling, I think. Once we finish up here, I think the next plan is to head straight west and go to Feathermoon Stronghold and grab all 3 quests there and work on all of those quests. They're pretty, I think he just resisted our, what was it, our blackout. I think he just resisted our blackout. I saw resist, but I saw Shadow Vulnerability and Shadow Word Pain both procced, so it must have been blackout that was dodged, or resisted, sorry. So, unfortunately, like I said, we need more naturalists and more shamans. I'm going to back up to line of sight this guy a little bit. Let's go ahead and silence him. It seems like a good mob to silence these naturalists, since they do a lot of spell casting. Although it's still, as soon as it ran out, it cast Rejuvenation on itself anyway, so that's kind of annoying. You can actually see Rejuvenation on the right here, showing their cast bar, or the duration of the buff. Ooh, we just saw, who was that? Garrick, the level 60 Orc Warlock from Crimson, flew by. Looked pretty well geared. I didn't really get a good look, but I kind of saw a little hint of it. Let's see, there's another naturalist. That's good. We need more of those. I'm going to back up again. The naturalists are kind of funny because they turn into bears, but they're so squishy. They just like, was it the naturalists? Yeah, I think naturalists will turn into bears. Like, they're basically druids, but for whatever reason, the naturalists only turn into bears on Chronos. If you fight them and then leave combat, then they'll turn into bear form, which I don't think is how it's supposed to work. I think they should turn into bear form, like, while you're fighting them. Also, I'm surprised that Raider didn't aggro on us, considering his friend like ran up right to him and then died. We got netted. That's one thing I do miss about my gnome warriors, that you get netted. You can do Escape Artist. So Escape Artist is a racial ability for gnomes. It's like a 2-minute cooldown. It's like a half-second cast, and it makes you immune to anything that like holds you down, like a net or Frost Nova, for like half a second. So if someone happens to cast in the next like half second after you cast, you'll be immune to it. But mostly it just breaks it. It's actually not really meant to make you immune so much as the way it's designed. It gives you that like split second of immunity, but mostly what it does is breaks you free of any current snares. So that's actually really nice. I think it works for like nets, which is what I use it for my gnome a lot when I'm soloing. It should work. It works on Frost Nova, I found out, in PvP, and I'm guessing it also works in for like entangling roots. I'm pretty sure it does. So I've used it in one of the bosses. Which boss is that? There's some instance, maybe it's Dire Maul West. I think there's a boss there that will cast entangling roots on the party, and you can actually escape that with Escape Artist, which is really nice. Okay, so this is our last raider that we're going to need, which is fine, but now we have to really hunt down those naturalists and the shamans. There's really not a lot of them, so we may end up just farming some more raiders while we're waiting. It'll be fine either way. Also, this guy, he keeps interrupting. So Cleave interrupts our spellcast, our auto attack. I don't know why it does that, but every time I've noticed he cleaves us, we stop we stop auto-attacking with our wand, which is obviously really annoying. Oh, I guess we didn't loot this guy yet. What does this guy have? Some copper, some nothing too special there. You know, we've had this Jaina's Firestarter wand since 37, and we're only 41 now. It's been a long, I mean, like, to be honest, the last like 2 months have been extremely slow leveling. I really haven't had enough time to play, or even when I have been playing, it seems like I don't have enough time to sit down for like a good leveling session, so I end up playing like a different character and doing like make a shorter video. But I really miss this priest. I really miss sitting down a few times a week at least for a few hours to get some leveling in. So I'm looking forward. That's a raider. We don't really need that. I'm looking forward to a shaman. We're going to go ahead and clear this raider so we can get back to that shaman. I'm really looking forward to getting some more time in with this character. So I really enjoyed my priest so far, and there's so many fun things you can do with the priest, and they're so versatile. Like, obviously you're not going to tank as a priest, most likely, unless you have some really terrible wiping going on in your group. But most likely, you know, you're going to be a healer as a priest, but you have the option of being a really great DPS class. I mean, not like the top DPS, but, you know, you can be a very respectable DPS as a priest with shadow form, which is really great. And it's so nice having the flexibility. Whereas I feel like in raid settings, I mean, most priests are going to be healers. You can have shadow priests sometimes, especially once the debuff slots have been increased to 16. I think that helps a lot, because then you should get like shadow vulnerability is really nice with your warlocks. But, you know, like some class like paladins, I generally think of paladins as being only healers in raids. I'm not a heavy, I haven't done a lot of alliance raiding. We got a last second blackout proc there, which is super handy. He was just about to run up to us and whack us with his stick, or lightning bolt us maybe. Yeah, it's really handy being able to do two things. And as a paladin, like paladins for example, I don't think they get a lot of opportunity to do much more than heal in raid settings. I'm not like an expert on it, but I'm pretty sure that almost all paladins end up being healers, which is fine. But you know, at least priests do have that option. This is one of those Grim Totem Naturalists we need to kill, but they're kind of glitched. That's what I was saying. If you engage them and then break out of combat with them, they go into bear form and they don't do anything. They just like chill out and die. So there's definitely like a glitch on Chronos with Grim Totem Naturalists. They should not act like that. I mean, makes it easy for us, but it's kind of boring, you know? Let's see. Okay. So, what else? I forget. All the things that Shadow Form does. 15% bonus damage, 15% reduced physical damage. Oh man, that shaman just cast like a big heal on himself. Huh. I think that's the first time we've seen them actually do that. Most of the time, we get them to flee at the last second. Let's do one of these. It should pretty much, yeah, take care of it. I was gonna say that last Mind Flay is gonna be enough, I think, to knock it down. Damn all. The undead warrior from Blood and Honor is like hovering in a glitched state over to the right. Ooh, a distress beacon. This is another quest we can start up later. I don't know if we're gonna really complete that quest. It's kind of a tougher quest to solo, but I think it's something I am gonna try. Someone needed a guild tabard link to send it over. The guild tabard, by the way, is like worthless for a dwarf, because like if you look at my character screen that's up right now, my beard just like covers the entire tabard. In the back, you can see the back. I mean, it's actually a pretty standard, like kind of a generic design. I like it, but there's not a lot to it from the front, unfortunately. Oh, there's another Grim Totem Naturalist. Whoops, ran right into him. There it goes. And again, not doing anything, so we're just gonna have an easy wanding it down, and we're gonna finish. There's a shaman to the right. That'll be our last shaman we need to kill. And then we'll need about 6 more naturalists once we finish off this one that's just hanging out. Which is nice, should be pretty easy. Okay, let's go for this naturalist. Let's, our shaman, I'm gonna go ahead and silence it. I guess we also got a raider here. Let's go ahead and just fear these guys. We're gonna focus down the shaman quickly. Probably about the time Psychic Scream breaks. Oh, can't do that while moving? What? Why'd I just get it? I just got a bug that said I can't cast Mind Blast while moving, but I certainly wasn't moving, so I don't know what the deal was there. Okay, let's go ahead and shield up. Let's finish that off. Let's Let's flee in a second here. Actually, we're not going to be able to. Unfortunately, we're netted, and that's kind of the end of it for us. So we're going to have to kill these guys, which I think we'll be fine doing. Let's get another shield up in a second. We do have some heal potions, some mana potions, so we should be fine. I'm going to cast another Psychic Scream in a moment, and I'm going to keep Power Word shield up as much as I can. Oh man, we're going to aggro another one, aren't we? Oh, that's annoying. Everything's respawning, which is perfectly terrible timing for us. Our net's going to be up for another few seconds, so we're just going to keep killing all these mobs and hope for the best. Thankfully, Spirit Tap keeps refreshing, which has been really lucky for us. Not lucky, but, you know, just fortunate for us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just pop a potion. What potion do we want? Let's do that one. Since we had a full, one slot dedicated to that one, it wasn't like a full stack. I just want to clear that up out of my bags anyway. Oh, another one. Great, great. Okay. Feel like I'm, who is it? Okay, I'm going to wait till my net's almost done, and then, oh, nope, there's another net. Okay, we're going to have to fear these. Let's go ahead and start killing this one. We're probably going to die here at this point, to be honest. We weren't really expected to take on like 6 of these at once. Let's see if I can run away. A powered shield again. I think we might get away from this. Whew, okay. Well, that's what happens when things start respawning, which is, unfortunately, none of those mobs were needed. They were all raiders. It was like completely a waste. Do we have any food or just mana? Alright, let's go ahead and, let's see, we need to rebuff a little bit. Let's rebuff this. Sure, shadow protection will be fine, and let's go ahead and do let's do one of our bigger drinks since we've got a lot of mana to replenish. Yeah, so unfortunately, all those mobs we didn't need anyway. They just kept respawning raider after raider, and we probably could have killed the last 2, but it gets to a point where I feel like I'm just like wasting my time. Oh, we also don't need these rune stones anymore. We can destroy those. Those are from a quest that we were doing in Badlands a few episodes ago. And we don't need them. We're done with them. Oh, there is some banana bread we had there. That's, oh, hold on to that. In fact, let's go ahead and eat that banana bread. And do we? What is this? Oh, yeah, it's an old bracer we can disenchant. This sword we can disenchant. Disenchant this necklace. Disenchant those gloves. It's a good time to kind of sort through stuff. This scorching sash we got in Booty Bay. I don't think we need this for any reason. We can disenchant this. We don't have any fire stuff we need. Okay, good. We'll take care of that in a little bit. Alright, we're going to keep working on these naturalists. We're coming along pretty well on this quest, though, at this point. We only have 6 more naturalists to kill, and I see at least 2 in a row here. I'm just looking around. Maybe is that a... Nope. I see at least 2. I'm sure some more are going to respawn back behind us now at this point. Let's get one more wand hit. Okay, okay, we'll go ahead and kill this one, too. We don't need all these raiders, but they seem to have like a pretty high aggro radius to us. I mean, they're a couple levels above us, and to be honest, that's one thing that I'm kind of surprised about. We're actually killing mobs that are at least 2, if not 3 levels above us out here, and it's been fine. Like, some of them are actually same level as us, but I mean, this has been, I would say, pretty smooth, you know, grinding experience here, which is sort of promising to me. It's really our first like real test of the shadow form, like a really good test. We did, last episode a little bit, but. It's a raider, we don't need that. Okay, let's pick up this naturalist over here. I'm gonna back up so the naturalist will kind of pull away from that raider. And I'm gonna silence the naturalist when I get closer. There we go. What do we get here? A shaman? Okay, whatever, that's fine. We'll kill them both. Fear broke real quick on that naturalist because it had damage over time on it, which must have broke, which is okay. In general, I think fear breaks pretty quickly on the server, but someone told me that the fear from Psychic Scream has a different threshold for how quickly it breaks than the fear from a Warlock's fear, which I don't know if that's true or not, but it kind of makes sense to me based on what I'm seeing. It seems like significantly so, and I can see that as more that a Warlock's Psychic Scream is meant to be defensive, whereas a Priest's Psychic Scream is meant to be defensive, whereas a Warlock's fear is meant to be like an aggressive, like offensive ability. I can see that, and I mean that argument makes sense to me. But I don't really, I'm not like an expert on Warlock fears, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking. It makes sense. I mean, I can understand that argument. Now I want to get up here. I want to loot this mob, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this raider over here. It's kind of in our way. We don't really need him for anything, but he's standing over the mob we killed, so I want to loot that mob. And I know there's some back here we killed we didn't loot yet, but I don't know if how I'm going to get to them very easily without fighting a bunch of crap. There's a naturalist over there, though, so we'll go that way, I guess, anyway. There's that cleave again. It knocked off our auto-attacking wand. You know, I recently realized that you can auto-attack using the T key. I didn't realize T was bound to auto-attack. Somehow, I never knew that. Like, somehow I had no idea that was the case. And I guess it's been that way since, like, retail vanilla. Like, it's just how it is. I had no idea. No clue. Someone mentioned it to me, and it, like, kind of blew my mind. I think it's actually, like, your dagger auto-attack, though, in this case, so I would actually need to rebind it. In fact, let's see if we can go to key bindings. We're looking for T. I want to make sure we're still auto-attacking down here with our wand. T, attack target, yeah. So that's actually like melee auto-attacking, but apparently I don't think you can rebind that to wanding. So like if I press T now, you see my dagger just kind of whipped out. So that's what happens instead. Oh man, we're in the middle of a lot of mobs here. I don't really want to be here. Looks like our mob that we killed over there just despawned. That's what I was going this way to try and loot that corpse, but it despawned sadly. I'm going to go ahead and shield up. Let's go ahead and focus down on the second one we just aggroed. I just resisted a blackout stun, I think. Now we need a new inner fire up, so I'll pop that on. Inner fire is really nice. I mean, it adds 720 armor. It is a huge increase to our armor. I mean, more than double what we currently have. I'll have to actually look at it and see what damage percent reduction occurs with that up. But I'll have to look at it because I'm kind of curious. We're stuck with a net again. Let's go ahead and pop out of shadow form, cast a big heal on ourselves. It'll be, yeah, a pretty good heal. Let's go back into shadow form. Even if it uses up a lot of our mana, it's okay. Now, wasn't there a naturalist? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Looks pretty clear here. I'm going to go ahead and dot this naturalist and then back up. Well, it seems in this case the naturalist actually is chasing us, which is funny because most of the time they seem to just hang out and not do anything. So I don't know what the difference is there, but this one decided to chase us, which a little bit at least. Although it seems like, it didn't chase us very far though, right? It like gave up. Okay, let's dot it, and then that'll finish it up pretty much. One more proc, dead. Okay, I'm gonna back up because that raider is gonna chase us. I don't really feel like dealing with it. And now what we need to do is find. Well, I've got to find a way back up here. I swear we could just climb up here just a moment ago. Nope, okay, I guess we gotta go around. Let me go up this way. I know we can get up on this side. Okay. Now I'd like to loot that mob we just killed, so I'm gonna go ahead and focus down this raider. Even though, let's see, he's gonna net us. Yep, there he is. Yeah, even though we don't need him, we're gonna focus him down. And then I see all raiders off in the distance there. I don't see any, and a shaman, I don't see any naturalists. Yeah, so otherwise, you know what I was thinking? Oh, I hate that cleave thing. It's like annoying the crap out of me. I keep like having to like monitor my my one down on my hotbar. I have to monitor the one symbol, make sure it's still flashing red, so I don't get cleaved out of wanding people. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and loot this one. Just some copper, so nothing fancy there. Let's loot this one, and I'm gonna go around and see if we can find some naturalists. So, what was I saying? What was I going to say? I forget what I was going to say. Well, you know, one thing I like to do sometimes, I like to try playing a druid. All these naturalists remind me that I'd like to try a druid. I've never really played as a druid. How can I not get up this hill? I'm really surprised this is so steep I can't get up it. It looks like perfectly climbable to me. Huh. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to get up this hill. I'm going to go around a little bit farther and see if we can find any more of these naturalists. Shaman, raider, there's a naturalist. Okay, can we get close enough from here to get it? There we go. This'll work. I wasn't sure if I'd get up that hill at all. I'm going to run between these other mobs. Come over to this side and focus on the naturalist. Yeah, so I'd like to play a druid sometime. I think druids look like a fun class because you can do, I was just saying, you know, priest's nice because you can do DPS or heal. Whereas paladin I feel like is mostly healing class in raiding at least. So I was looking into it a little, and it looks like druids, I mean, when you're leveling, you can actually DPS, I mean, cat form is DPS, bear form is tanking, or like Tauren form or Night Elf form will let you heal. So you really have a lot of options. You can even play a Moonkin, which is probably, Moonkin are probably one of the worst specs in the game. I mean, they're pretty much awful, but they seem like they're still kind of fun, and they've got like a silly factor to them that definitely makes it interesting to me. I'm looking for more of these naturalists. Now I've only got 2 more to kill, and there's usually a couple that spawn over here. That's what I'm kind of banking on. I'm gonna rebuff Inner Fire while we're waiting. Let's see, so raiders are respawning. Okay, so everything's starting to respawn. Let's go ahead and kill this raider to the side while we're waiting, just in case some naturalists pop up here. We'll have one less mob in our way to deal with. But yeah, druids seem like a lot of fun. I don't think Moonkin has ever been considered a good skill or a good spec, and maybe that's changed in modern WoW, but I would say they're pretty much not very good. But if I were to go druids, if I were to level up a druid, and if I did a druid at this point, I wouldn't make a new leveling series. As I mentioned, it's sometimes hard for me to sit down for big chunks of time to do like a full leveling video on my priest. Instead, what I would do is do my druid in times where I don't have a good chunk of time. So I wouldn't really use the druid as a way to take away time from my priest, but I might level up a druid and then you know, do some highlights and make some shorter videos from that, or some interesting leveling aspects of the druid I might highlight. But mostly, I got 2 of these stupid raiders. Mostly, I want to still do my priest leveling series, and then maybe do like a side thing where I'm leveling up a druid as an alt. The question is, if I do druid, I'm almost sure I want to do a Tauren. I don't really like night elves much. I don't know why, but I just don't like the aesthetics of them. And a part of me kind of thinks, well, if I want to do a druid, then I can be a Tauren and go back to the horde, which is what I've always played as. Really, I'm more of a horde player than an alliance, although I have liked alliance a lot. But I'm thinking I would try horde and do that. It's just been a while since I've leveled the horde character, and I do kind of miss that. Naturalist just popped up to the right, which is perfect. We only need 2 more, so that'll be 1/2. I'm gonna go ahead and put a shield up. And yeah, so I'm thinking of making a Tauren druid, just kind of level for fun on the side, and not make a full leveling series out of, but just a few highlight videos, or maybe some druid class quest, you know, some highlights, some interesting things. We do need to heal up a little bit, so I am gonna drop out of shadow form, do a flash heal, put a renew on ourselves, go back into shadow form, and apparently we did aggro that naturalist over there. I'm gonna go ahead and mind blast them, shadow word pain, and just wand them down. Yeah, and you know, so the question is, if I do a druid, I think the only only races that can be druids are Tauren and night elves. So it's just a choice of alliance or horde in that case. And I think I'd rather try horde. It's been a while since I played a horde character, and I kind of miss it. Oh man, this guy got out of line of sight on me. I'm just gonna dot him. That'll finish him up. Let's get out of range of that shaman. Am I still in range of that shaman? Come on, how am I still in range? There we go. Alright, and then the last naturalist popped up, perfect. We got Demoralizing Roar. Melee attack power reduced by 94, okay, doesn't matter to us. Yeah, so I might do a Tauren druid. I've never played a druid before. I had a druid alt on my retail vanilla server, which was Malagos. But the alt was like level 2. Like, his name was Bobbert, B-O-B-E-R-T, which I kind of thought was a funny name. And that's about as far as I got with that guy. Oh, a Mist Escape Mantle. 11 Intellect, 5 Spirit. Wow, that's a nice upgrade for us. What did we have here? I don't know who Gammon... I can't remember where we got this. 6 Intellect, 4 Spirit. 11 Intellect, 5 Spirit. Nice. I will accept that. Okay, do we have anything... We do have a mob to loot over here. I'm going to go ahead and come over here and loot this real fast and just fear away the guy that's in our way. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything good from this, but it turns out it was just some copper, so it's pretty negligible. And we're going to go turn in this quest now. So we got to get up around back to the side over here. And stupid naturalists aren't going to do anything to us because they're bugged up, which makes our life pretty easy. And yeah, so if I make a druid, I'll probably make a Tauren. And you know what? Honestly, I might make it on Chronos too. I was considering trying like Elysium or wait for Crestfall or whatever's going on with that. But hold on a sec, let's turn this quest. So Dueling Justice, we're turning it into Jerkai Moonweaver. We get 4,500 experience, and we get another quest, Dueling Justice. Take Jerkai's Signet Ring to High Priestess Tyrunda Whisperwind in Darnassus, and we'll get some bracers which are like 10 intellect, 2 agility. It's terrible. Like, I guess it's druid gear, sort of, but it's not even leather. And then a male... The waist is pretty good. A male piece, 14 strength, 2 stamina. Like, it's reasonable. Anyway, so we've got a drop off to do in Darnassus later on. We have a lot of quests still. That's not really a priority. Okay. So now we're going to head due west, and we're going to go all the way west to find Feathermoon Stronghold. And I think we will speed up the video for this portion, because all we're going to do is just run over there. I don't think I'm going to have any interesting combat or anything like that, but if I get in any fun fights, of course, we'll slow it back down. But it's a pretty straight shot. Oh, I got dazed. The first hit off that stupid wolf dazed me. But yeah, it's a pretty straight shot. And once I get out of combat from this guy, I'm going to mount up. Should be out of combat any second now. There we go. Okay, we're going to mount up. We're going to just follow the main path here. And then there's actually a pretty easy route to get here. It's like a dock. So you can swim over to this island, but we're going to just take the main road, veer off to the west down here, get on a dock and wait for the boat, take the boat over. It's going to be the easy way. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we are at Feathermoon Stronghold, and it's kind of an interesting place. It's usually pretty empty. The few times I've been here, I really haven't seen a lot of purpose here. Let's see, there's a Hippogriff Master, so that's great, we got that. And we're going to grab as many quests as we can here, and then we might have to clear some quest space. We're going to get rid of this Pearl Diving quest. I mentioned that for a long time. I don't care about that quest. We're going to dump it out. Okay, the Mark of Quality quest. Bring 10 thick Yeti furs. Okay. Let's keep moving along. What else do we have here? A couple... Looks like there's another 2 or 3 quests here, possibly. I've got to say, the quest add-on, I know it kind of takes away some of the fun of exploration of the vanilla well, but for the purpose of like these types of videos where I don't want to like just be running in circles and wasting people's time, it's kind of a nice efficiency thing. The ruins of Solar Sol. Explore the ruins of Solar Sol. Okay. Investigate the Naga presence. The missing courier. Speak with Ginro Hearthkindle and Feathermoon Stronghold. Okay, we're gonna go find Ginro. It's an easy quest, I think. Looks like the ruins of Solar Sol are on Feathermoon Hold, so that's kind of cool. So we're gonna actually head Feathermoon Stronghold, or at least the island. I guess is actually Sardor Island is what it's called. I didn't realize that. I thought this whole thing was Feathermoon Stronghold. Okay, well, let's see. I have another quest we can grab here. We don't have enough space. Kill 8 Warlock, Shaman, and Brutes. Okay. What are... This is... I'm trying to think what quest we want to dump. Encrusted Tailfins. We're definitely not finishing that quest. That's one along with the Blue Pearls, so we're not going to do that. So we're dumping that quest. Yeah, those quests, those are all, the Blue Pearls and the Encrusted Tailfins are for basically killing elite Murlocs off the western coast of Stranglethorn Vale. I hate that quest. Those quests. Okay, the missing courier. We're talking to Ginro Hearthkindle. Locate the courier's boat somewhere along the coast of Feralas. Okay, it's 500 experience, and great. Well, looks like we're going to start with the ruins of Solar Sol, because that quest is down here a little bit south of us. It should be a pretty simple quest for us to do. And the nice thing is, when we're done, we're probably going to hit level 42 by the end of this episode, at which point we can just hearth back to... Actually, hold on, I'm going to buff up while we are running over there, so I can let our mana regen. We also need power with the fort, which is what takes up a lot of our mana. So once we get this done, we'll probably hit 42 pretty soon. Then we can hearth back to Booty Bay, fly to Stormwind, and train our priest skills. And then since we have the flight point here at Feathermoon Hold, we can just fly back. Well, actually, we'll need to take the boat, because that'll be on Eastern Kingdoms. We'll fly back this way, or take the boat over, then fly down here, so we can keep going. So that's pretty handy. These are, I see, like level 41 Naga, Sorceress, nothing too scary. It looks like what we need is here, Solar Sol Gazebo. That's a large clickable item, isn't it? Well, where do I click it? There we go, I have to stand in it. Complete quest, 3800 experience, return to Chandra's Feathermoon in the stronghold. Okay, well, guess we're going back. That's a pretty easy 4000 experience almost, 3800 experience. I'm pretty happy with that. And I guess what we're going to do is go turn this back in, I'm looking at World Chat down here. We're going to go back, turn in that quest, probably get some more experience, and then, I guess she'll probably give us another quest to come back here and like kill Naga or something. I'm assuming it's something simple like that. I was laughing, someone down in World Chat was advertising a spinal ring of fire resistance, level 29 ring with 11 fire resistance, and someone's like, who the F needs resistance before level 60? Yep, can't really argue with that logic. You really don't need... Can we get up this way? No, we can't. You really don't need resistance of any sort before level 60. Like, I would never equip a ring that gives me resistance at level 60, before level 60. There's no point. So like a low level ring like that isn't any good. Okay, let's return to Feathermoon Stronghold. We're gonna get 2500 experience, 45 silver, and against the Hate Crest, report to Latronicus Moonspear in Feathermoon Stronghold. Okay, well, Latronicus is right next to us. We're gonna turn in that quest, another 500 experience. Bring 10 Hate Crest Naga Scales. Okay, so I guess we're farming up some Naga Scales, which I assume are down there. Although, I noticed Questy isn't updating quite like normal today. When I first logged in, I noticed I couldn't get everything to pop up like normal. But I'm pretty sure the quest we need, the mobs we need, are down there. I didn't actually take a close enough look at those Naga, but I assume they were Hate Crest Naga. Yes, yeah, looks like they are. Okay. Well, we got a stupid wolf chasing after us. I'm gonna run away, run away, run away. I'm gonna de-aggro this wolf. Maybe someday. There we go. Alright, let's start nuking this guy. We are in shadow form, right? Yeah, we are. Okay. So this is a warrior. Warriors are gonna be... they disarm. Okay, that doesn't really bother me much. These warriors seem pretty chill. Like, they're not too hard. I don't think they're anything too fancy. They're not interrupting us with cleave. They have a fair amount of health, enough that it takes at least 2 Shadow Repains up to really kill them. Unless I maybe did another Mind Blast in there, but these aren't so bad. Okay, we get 550 experience because we have rested XP. We got our Hate Crest Naga scale, which is great. I bet these, what are these? Screamers are going to die a lot easier for us. They only have 1600 health, so they're a lot squishier. What is Sonic Burst? Cannot cast spells for 10 seconds. Holy crap. So it looks like what they do is an AoE, it's like Thunderclap, in an AoE around them, and they spam it, and you can't cast spells during it. That's kind of gross. And they also are healing themselves up, it looks like. Okay, we have to keep that in mind. They're definitely a little more annoying than I would like. Not awful, but just annoying enough. Okay, well, yeah, so maybe we'll just focus on warriors? I don't know if it's better. I mean, if we Mind Blast and then Shadow Word Pain those Naga, the spellcasters, then really we're not going to cast any more spells anyway. Probably till the end. We're just going to focus on wanding, so it's not a big deal, but it's just a little annoying. It also means it's going to be tougher if we get like grouped up on we can't fear away things or even powered shield ourselves. Okay, what's the drop rate on these things? We've only gotten 2 out of 3 so far. It's not terrible, but not amazing either. Okay, let's go for another spellcaster. Alright, we got her on a blackout stun there. So she'll actually, I just noticed she just cast her silence thing even when we weren't in range. That's funny. So we can actually, if we run around a little bit, we can get them to cast it without even us being in range, which is pretty nice. I'm not going to waste my time doing that because they die pretty fast anyway. Just going to dagger stab this one to kill it. 3 of 10. We need more Naga, though. Where are the rest of Naga? Looks like our questy add-on updated now. Just a little bit slow, but no big deal. There she is, okay. Try to run away, get out of range of the... Let's see if we silence them. So if we silence her, can she cast it on us? Didn't look like it. So definitely silencing them keeps them from silencing us, which is kind of fun. Makes sense. But she didn't even cast it this time, so that was pretty nice. I think definitely killing those makes more sense. They are pretty squishy. Whoops, I did not mean to equip that crappy bracer. Put it back on, swap them back. I was trying to open a clam and I just misclicked. So yeah, I want to kill the spellcasters mainly. I think they seem a little bit faster overall for us to kill. Target not in line of sight. Okay, well, there we go. Fix that. Let's oh, we got a blackout stun. I love blackout. Blackout's probably one of my favorite like talents in the game. I think it's just like super useful, and it's kind of fun. It's like not overpowered. Doesn't proc too often. You know, you get about, it's like a 10% proc rate, so it's going to be frequent, but not excessively so to the point that people are getting annoyed by it. Like some talents are just kind of annoying to deal with. I can't think of a good example right now. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not really sure my point is, but it's still nice. It's good, but not overpowered. And I wish it, I mean, I would love if it was like a 30% proc rate or something, or 50%, but you know, then everyone would spec into that because it'd be insanely powerful in PvP if every spell you cast had a 50% chance of stunning your target. That'd be insane, to be honest. So that's not, obviously not the case. Let's see. This Naga is almost dead. Dead. Good. I'd like a little better drop rate off these. I mean, because we're going to hit 42 probably just from killing these guys faster than we are from getting the... I'm going to put another inner fire up. Probably faster than we are from getting the quest completed. But I think I may just go ahead and finish up the quest either way so we can turn it in. And uh-oh, we aggroed probably another one there. Yep, I saw that coming. That's fine, we're going to Mind Blast this one. Oh, this is a Wave Rider. This is a different mob. Huh. I don't think we've seen Wave Riders yet. They actually have a little bit less health than the... Oh, that's a Siren. Is Siren the same mob we just fought? I don't think Siren's what we were facing. Huh, interesting. So there's a different set of mobs over here. But it looks like they can also drop what we need, so that's good. I mean, it's perfect. These were... They're very different. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. I was just kind of like caught off guard and I saw these ones doing some different spells they were casting there. Okay. So what do we need? We need 5 more. You can't get up this cliff here, unfortunately. So we're going to have to run around. I kind of like killing those more. They seemed a little bit easier. I mean, killed 2 of them back to back real fast. Screamer. That's the ones that silence. Those are annoying. Yeah. Definitely the Sirens are a little bit nicer for us, I think. If we can focus on those, it would be good. Now we need 5 more. We're about to hit level 42. At 42, we're going to spec another point into Wand Specialization. We're just going to max out Wand Spec. And then once we max out Wand Spec, we have some flexibility what we want to do. I'm considering just putting more points in Shadow Form. Are there any good points in Discipline? Not really. Nothing DPS oriented anyway, so probably won't put any points into Discipline anytime soon. They're good for like for healing. There's a lot of good uses, but they're not so useful for DPSing. And that's in Holy. Sorry, in Holy we're not going to put any points in. That's what I was thinking. Discipline, we might go on increase damage from powered shield absorb. There's some good ones in Discipline I could see us specking into. I don't know if we'll take them over shadow spells, but definitely worth considering at least. Which is nice. It's nice to have some flexibility. But in shadow, I see so many that would be nice. I can improve Shadow Word Pain, improve Mind Blast, Shadow Reach, Shadow Affinity. Like, maybe Shadow Affinity isn't great for soloing, but there's a lot of good things there that it makes me think it's not worth going into Discipline over Shadow Spec. After we max out 505 Improved Wand, of course, that seems definitely the way to go. Now, these Nagas would be great friends to us if they would go ahead and drop these last 5 scales we need. We had a pretty good drop rate going for a bit there, but then it kind of petered out, I would say. Seems like the last like 4 or 5 kills haven't dropped any for us, which is a little unfortunate. What we may end up doing is, we may, depending on how long it takes, we may just stop working on these guys and instead go and log out an inn nearby, and there's another Naga thingy there at least. Okay, let's do this. Let's do, what am I doing? Spec and Improved Wand Spec, so now 10% bonus damage for our wands. That's gonna help a lot with killing stuff. There's another Wave Rider. These guys seem a little more fun to kill. They actually seemed pretty easy to kill overall, and he actually missed us, which is kind of funny. We're not like super dodge. Oh, Geyser, what was that? Movement speed reduced by 50%, and there's a knockback. I haven't seen that yet. I mean, we only killed one of these, but still. Well, that's one more wand hit should take him out. Good. Yeah, these drop rates, not the best, not the best. Okay, we're gonna Mind Blast this one. We're gonna do that. One of these. I will say, there's definitely like a routine to, or like kind of what do you call it? Like a cycle? What's the actual word I'm thinking of here? Basically, it's like a cycle to any class. Like, you know, you're gonna do like Sinister Strike, Sinister Strike, Sinister Strike, Slice and Dice or something, you know, and then there's always like some rotation you're using. That's what you call it, a rotation. That's the word I'm looking for. There's always gonna be a rotation you're using with any DPS or even healing classes, maybe, or definitely DPS classes, and that's fine. Rotations are kind of important because, like, it's a little boring, but you can't just have like any random thing where it's like every mob you meet you have to cast a different spell. Would be almost too complex. So rotation makes sense. It's basically a way. Oh, I need to fear these things if I can. Okay, I didn't really need to, I guess, but it was still handy. I'm just gonna dot that one. I'm gonna dot this one, and then we're gonna Mind Blast the big one here. Okay, good. Anyway, so as I was saying, basically we have rotations, you know, for any class, especially DPS classes. Warriors or tanks definitely will have some rotations. Healers not quite as much, because like it'll depend on your target. You know, if you're whether you need to do like a big heal or a little heal. So it varies quite a bit more, I think. It depends if they get, you know, like a crushing blow against them or a critical strike or a miss. It's a little bit different with healers, I would say. The drop rate has picked up a little bit for us in the last few kills there. That's been nice. We were down up to 8 of 10 Hate Crest Naga scales. And you know, by the way, I don't think I've ever done this quest. I'm not sure if I've ever really leveled over here. On my warrior, so I've only leveled one alliance character to 60. That was my warrior. And I came over here and got the flight path, but I don't think I ever did anything. Like, I did a couple quests in Feralas, but I don't think I did quests on this island, which is Sardor Isle. I don't think I ever did that. Any quests here, which is fine. But it just made it kind of interesting for me that I never did that. You know, I just, it's kind of a new thing for me to be over here and doing this. How's that? No line of sight, come on. Target not a line of sight, really? That's crazy. He must be like technically on the outside here. Okay. Can I just like get close enough to aggro him? What? How's that guy not on line of sight? We're like, oh, I see, he's like underground. Okay, well he's glitched. That's fine. We'll go find someone else to kill. Hopefully this will be our last one we need. We have 9 of 10 anyway now, so we're almost done. Should be pretty good. Let's go ahead and silence this one. It's Mind Flay. You know, in real life stuff right now, let's see, not a lot new going on. I started my job just, you know, last week or two. It's a way different experience for me. I'm a scientist, so I do research full-time, work in a lab. It's actually kind of a medical field that I'm in now. It's all microbiology stuff. And it's the first time I've ever... So I'm going to start working with animal models, so I'll start using mice for some of my experiments, which is weird for me. I've mentioned before that I'm not like a full-time vegetarian or vegan, but I often choose meat-free options. I don't know, I guess I just basically feel bad for killing animals, not like anything more complex than that, so I will often choose or make meat-free meals. I'll try and choose vegan options like dairy-free or egg-free if possible, but that's not like a full-time thing. It's just like probably like a big chunk of my meals, maybe not even half of them, are vegan or vegetarian. And you know, if I go out somewhere, if I go to a friend's house and they serve meat, I'll eat it. Like, it's not like I don't really have a strong motivation towards this lifestyle choice or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, in general, I will choose more meat-free options. So it's kind of weird for me being at a lab where I'm now handling mice, and that means, you know, the mice will end up dying because of the experiments you're doing. It's all done in a very careful manner, so that we make sure that they're euthanized properly. We will basically knock them out if they are going to feel even a small amount of pain. If there's any discomfort or pain involved, we basically drug them to knock them out, so they won't feel anything the same way we would like a person that's going under for surgery. And if anything we're doing is going, so like if we were, let's say for example, you were to infect them with some sort of disease that would kill them, if we see that they are starting to get sicker from the disease to the point that it's clear they're not going to live through it, then we will euthanize them in like as humane a method as possible, so they're not like lingering in a diseased or painful state. And then we have to monitor that like every 8 hours. So like if we do an experiment every 8 hours, we have to come in and make sure they're doing okay. That's like around the clock. So it means if I go in at at noon and look, I have to go back at 8 p.m. If I go in at 8 p.m., I have to go back in at 4 a.m. to make sure they're okay. Like it's actually very strict. You have to sign a sheet. You kind of like prove that you've been there. They have like camera footage and all this stuff too, so they can always back check to see if you really are lying or not about the timing. So it's really interesting. It's a new thing for me. I'm not totally comfortable with it yet. I mean, it's just, you know, it's weird holding a live animal and like doing something to it that you're going to, you know, kill it essentially, eventually. So it's kind of weird. Anyway, so I'm going to turn this quest against the Hate Crest, 45 silver. Now we've got one other quest. We have to eliminate Lord Shazaru, and then bring the mysterious Relicane cover to Latronius Moonsphere. Okay. Well, that guy is... I don't know where he's at, but either way, for now, we got the flight point here. We're going to go ahead and fly to Booty Bay, and we're going to actually end in Booty Bay, but then next time we're going to come back, we'll go to Stormwind, grab our quest, and then head back over to Feathermoon Stronghold. So here's the hearth. Okay, so we're going to log out here and be all done. What's this quest? Swim Whiskey Slim's Lost Grog. That's not too important for us right now. Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit more about my job in another episode, but that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.